So, Pinterest just dropped its latest earnings report, and what followed was, well, a total head scratcher for Wall Street. You've got a company that's absolutely firing on all cylinders with its product, but the market? Yeah, not happy at all. Okay, so let's get into this whole paradox.
And I mean, the moment those numbers came out, this is what happened to their stock. Bam! Down almost 17%. Just a brutal, brutal free fall that really sent some shockwaves through the tech world.
Which, brings us to the big question here, right? What in the world is going on inside Pinterest? How can a platform be so loved by its users with record-breaking numbers and yet get so hammered by the market at the exact same time? It just doesn't seem to add up.
To really get it, you have to see that there are basically two completely different stories happening at Pinterest right now. It's like a tale of two companies. On one hand, you've got this incredible story of product success, and on the other, a story of, well, financial disappointment.
And this slide just lays it all out perfectly. Look at this contrast. The product story is fantastic. A record 619 million users, growing at a super healthy 12% year over year. I mean, that's what you want to see. But then you look at the market story, and you see that gut punch of a stock drop. It's the ultimate disconnect.
So first, let's talk about the good news, which, honestly, is really good news. Pinterest user growth isn't just strong, it is an absolute boom.
That is the headline number, 619 million global monthly active users. That's an all-time high. People are just flocking to the platform like never before. And this isn't some one-time fluke, no way. This was the 10th straight quarter. We're talking 2.5 years of record user growth. This is some serious, sustained momentum.
And people aren't just signing up and leaving. They're super engaged. Get this. Pinterest is now one of the biggest search destinations on the planet, handling over 80 billion searches every single month. That's huge.
And here's who's driving all this growth. It's Gen Z. The most sought-after, tech-savvy demographic out there. They now make up over half of Pinterest's user base, and they're still the fastest-growing group on the platform.
So what's the secret sauce? How are they doing this? Well, a big part of the answer is a powerful new AI engine. They've rolled out these super smart models like OmniSage, which really understands the content inside images, and PinFM, which gets way better at figuring out what you're looking for. It's all about supercharging personalization and keeping people pinning.
All right, so with a product story that strong, you have to be asking, where did it all go wrong? Let's flip over to the financials and see exactly what spooked the market so badly.
At first glance, this doesn't look like a total disaster. They missed revenue and earnings expectations, yeah, but by the thinnest of margins. We're talking just a penny on earnings per share. But in the high-stakes world of tech stocks, any miss, even a tiny one, can be a major red flag. So what was the reason? Well, CEO Bill Ready pointed right at an exogenous shock. In plain English, that's an outside force they couldn't control. He said that tariffs were squeezing the profits of their biggest advertisers, which made them pull back on how much they were spending on ads.
And that right there exposed the company's Achilles heel. See, Pinterest revenue was super concentrated among just a handful of really big retailers. So when that specific group got nervous and cut their spending, Pinterest felt the pain way more than its competitors who have a more diverse group of advertisers.
But Pinterest isn't just, sitting around and hoping for the best. Nope. They immediately announced a major overhaul of their entire sales strategy. The whole point is to finally bridge that massive gap between their huge user base and their revenue.
And they've put a new face on this whole transformation. Lee Brown, their new chief business officer. He was brought in with a really clear mission: rebuild the sales team from the ground up and go after a much wider variety of advertisers.
The plan they've laid out is actually really clear and focused. It's all built on 3 main pillars, and they're designed to make their business just as strong and resilient as their product.
Okay, let's break this down. First up, diversify. They're going hard after those mid-sized companies and small businesses, so they're not so dependent on the big guys anymore. Second, improve their ad tech. They're making it easier for advertisers to see the results and feel good about spending more money. And third, expand where they show ads, finding clever ways to reach their valuable audience even when they're not on Pinterest itself.
And that third part, it's already happening. They bought a company called TV Scientific, which is a major play into what's called connected TV advertising. Basically, it means they can use what they know about your interests on Pinterest to show you relevant ads on streaming services. This lets them tap into a huge and fast-growing ad market.
So all of this leaves us with the big question, doesn't it?
The user growth, the engagement, that's all undeniable. People really love using Pinterest. But now, the company is in a race against time to prove that its business model can be just as compelling, just as powerful as the product they've built. The next few quarters are going to be absolutely critical to watch.